Hey there, fellow Canadians and curious minds from around the world. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been making headlines and stirring up conversations from coast to coast. We're talking about illegal immigration in Canada, but not just as numbers on a page. We're going to explore the human stories, the real struggles, and the complex realities faced by both longtime residents and newcomers in 10 Canadian cities. So, buckle up and let's embark on this eye-opening journey together. Before we jump into our list, let's get one thing straight. This video isn't about pointing fingers or stirring up controversy. It's about understanding. It's about seeing the faces behind the statistics and grasping the challenges that both cities and individuals are grappling with. Whether you're a proud Canadian, a recent immigrant, or just curious about what's happening up north, this video aims to give you a balanced, compassionate look at a complex issue. Kicking off our list at number 10 is Windsor, Ontario. This border city, sitting right across from Detroit, has long been a gateway for those seeking a new life in Canada. In recent years, Windsor has seen a surge in illegal border crossings, with many individuals and families risking everything for a chance at a better future. The impact on Windsor has been profound. Local community centers and shelters are feeling the strain, with resources stretched thin as they try to accommodate the influx of newcomers. The city's food banks report record demand, and emergency housing services are operating at capacity. But amidst these challenges, many Windsorites are stepping up, offering support and compassion to those in need. Take Maria, for example, a longtime Windsor resident. She started a grassroots initiative to collect winter coats for newly arrived families. "I remember how cold my first Canadian winter was," she says, "and I was prepared for it." These folks often arrive with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Windsor's proximity to the U.S. border adds another layer of complexity. Some residents express concerns about security, while others see it as an opportunity for cross-border cooperation on immigration issues. Local politicians are grappling with how to balance compassion with the rule of law, often finding themselves caught between federal policies and the realities on the ground. 9. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Moving east to number 9, we find ourselves in Halifax, Nova Scotia. This coastal city has become an unexpected hotspot for illegal immigration, particularly through its busy port. The influx has put pressure on local resources, but it's also sparked a wave of community initiatives. From language exchange programs to job training workshops, Haligonians are finding innovative ways to help newcomers integrate, regardless of their legal status. Halifax's situation is unique due to its maritime location. The city's port, one of the busiest in Canada, has become a point of entry for some illegal immigrants arriving by sea. This has presented challenges for port authorities and immigration officials, who must balance security concerns with humanitarian considerations. The impact on Halifax's housing market has been significant. With an already tight rental market, the influx of newcomers has further strained availability and affordability. Local real estate agents report a rise in overcrowded living situations, with multiple families sometimes sharing single-family homes. But Halifax's response has been characteristically maritime, warm, welcoming, and community-oriented. Local chef David has started a weekly community kitchen where longtime residents and newcomers cook and share meals together. "Food is a universal language," he says. "Over a pot of chowder, we're all just neighbors." 8. Edmonton, Alberta. At number 8, we have Edmonton, Alberta. The oil capital of Canada has seen a significant increase in illegal immigrants, many drawn by the promise of jobs in the energy sector. This has led to unique challenges, with some immigrants finding themselves exploited in dangerous, under-the-table work. However, local unions and advocacy groups are working tirelessly to protect vulnerable workers and push for safer, more ethical employment practices. Edmonton's situation reflects the complex interplay between economic opportunities and immigration challenges. The city's boom and bust cycles, tied closely to the fortunes of the oil industry, have created a volatile environment for both long-time residents and newcomers alike. During boom times, the influx of workers, including those without legal status, has strained housing and public services. In leaner years, competition for jobs has sometimes led to tensions within communities. The construction and service industries have been particularly impacted. John, a local contractor, shares, "It's a tough situation. You see people desperate for work, willing to take risks. But as employers, we have a responsibility to ensure safety and fair treatment for all workers, regardless of their status." Edmonton's response has been multifaceted. The city has increased funding for labor inspections to crack down on exploitative practices. Meanwhile, community organizations have set up anonymous hotlines where workers can report abuse without fear of deportation. Local churches and mosques have become impromptu sanctuaries, offering not just spiritual comfort, but practical support like temporary housing and legal advice. 7. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Halfway across the country at number 7 is Winnipeg, Manitoba. Known for its harsh winters, Winnipeg has become an unlikely sanctuary for many illegal immigrants. The city's response has been a mix of compassion and concern, with heated debates over the use of public resources. But amidst the controversy, stories of incredible kindness emerge, like the local church that turned its basement into a shelter during the coldest months. Winnipeg's situation is particularly poignant given its brutal winter climate. The city has seen a surge in asylum seekers crossing the U.S.-Canada border on foot, often in dangerously cold conditions. This has put immense pressure on emergency services and highlighted the desperate measures some will take for a chance at a new life. The impact on Winnipeg's social services has been significant. Food banks report increased demand, and the city's already strained affordable housing market is struggling to cope. Local hospitals have seen a rise in cases of frostbite and hypothermia, often from border crossers unprepared for Manitoba's harsh climate. But Winnipeggers are rising to the challenge. Take Sarah, a retired teacher who now volunteers teaching English to newcomers. "Everyone deserves a chance to communicate, to tell their story," she says. Language is the first step to feeling at home. 6. Quebec City, Quebec. Coming in at number 6 is Quebec City, Quebec. The provincial capital has seen a sharp rise in illegal immigration, particularly from French-speaking countries. This has sparked intense discussions about Quebec's distinct culture and language. Yet many Quebecois are finding common ground with newcomers through shared linguistic roots, creating unique integration opportunities. Quebec City's situation is particularly complex due to the province's distinct cultural identity within Canada. The influx of French-speaking illegal immigrants, many from former French colonies in Africa and Haiti, has added a new dimension to ongoing debates about language preservation and cultural integration. The impact is visible throughout the city. In the historic Lower Town, traditional Quebecois restaurants now sit alongside West African cafes. In schools, teachers report classrooms where students from Quebec City practice their French alongside newcomers from Senegal or Côte d'Ivoire, each learning from the other's accent and idioms. But the situation has also heightened tensions. Some residents express fears about changes to Quebec's cultural fabric, while others see the newcomers as natural allies in preserving French language and culture in North America. This debate plays out in local media, community meetings, and even in the National Assembly. Mark, a longtime Quebec City resident, shares his perspective. "At first, I was worried about how all these newcomers would change our way of life. But then I met my new neighbors from Cameroon. We bonded over our love for Molière and poutine. It made me realize that culture isn't static. It grows when we share it." The city's response has been multifaceted. Local governments have increased funding for French language programs tailored to different African dialects. Cultural exchange programs have been set up, allowing longtime residents and newcomers to share their traditions and customs. 5. Surrey, British Columbia. Crossing over to the West Coast, number 5 on our list is Surrey, British Columbia. This rapidly growing city has become a hub for illegal immigrants, particularly from South Asia. The result? a vibrant, diverse community grappling with overcrowded housing and strained public services. But it's also a place where cultural festivals bring everyone together, showcasing the potential for unity and diversity. Surrey's transformation in recent years has been dramatic. Once a suburban backdrop to Vancouver, it's now the fastest-growing city in the province, with a population that reflects global migration patterns. The South Asian community, including many without legal status, has been at the forefront of this change. The impact on Surrey's infrastructure has been significant. Schools are overcrowded, with some operating at 150% capacity. The healthcare system is strained, with long wait times at clinics and hospitals. Housing is a particular pressure point, with illegal rooming houses and overcrowded basement suites becoming common, raising safety concerns. But amidst these challenges, Surrey is also a place of incredible vibrancy and entrepreneurial spirit. The Newton and Whalley neighborhoods have transformed into bustling commercial districts with South Asian markets, restaurants, and businesses creating a city within a city. Gurpreet, a second-generation Canadian who runs a local community center, shares, "Yes, we have challenges, but we also have incredible strength in our diversity. During Vaisakhi, you'll see everyone old-timers, newcomers, people from all backgrounds celebrating together. That's the real Surrey." 4. Mississauga, Ontario. Back to Ontario for number 4. Mississauga. This Toronto suburb has long been a destination for new Canadians, but recent years have seen a spike in illegal immigration. The city's schools are at the forefront, with teachers going above and beyond to support students from diverse backgrounds, often navigating complex family situations with sensitivity and care. Mississauga's transformation from a bedroom community to a diverse, dynamic city in its own right has been accelerated by immigration, both legal and illegal. The city's proximity to Toronto's Pearson International Airport has made it a first stop for many newcomers, including those who overstay visas or enter the country through other irregular means. The impact on Mississauga's social fabric has been profound. In some neighborhoods, dozens of languages can be heard on a single street. This diversity has brought vibrancy, but also challenges, particularly in schools and social services. Mississauga's education system has been particularly affected. Many schools have seen rapid demographic shifts, with some reporting student populations where over 70% of families speak a language other than English at home. This has led to innovative approaches in education. Maria, a high school teacher in Mississauga, shares her experience. "We're not just teaching subjects anymore. We're helping students navigate between cultures, often acting as informal counselors for families facing complex immigration issues. It's challenging, but also incredibly rewarding." The city's response has been proactive. Mississauga has implemented a diversity and inclusion strategy, aiming to make city services accessible to all residents, regardless of status. This includes multilingual information sessions on healthcare, housing, and employment rights. Mississauga's business community has also adapted. The city's many strip malls have become incubators for immigrant entrepreneurs, often operating in gray areas of the formal economy. This has led to a thriving informal sector, bringing both economic vitality and regulatory challenges. 3. Montreal, Quebec. Breaking into our top 3 is Montreal, Quebec. This cosmopolitan city has always been a melting pot, but the recent influx of illegal immigrants has tested its limits. From makeshift border camps to overflowing shelters, Montreal faces real challenges. Yet, the city's artistic community has responded with powerful murals, performances, and initiatives that give voice to immigrant experiences and foster understanding. Montreal's situation is unique due to its status as the largest francophone city in North America and its role as a cultural bridge between Europe and the New World. The recent wave of illegal immigration, particularly from Haiti and other French-speaking countries, has added new layers to the city's already complex cultural tapestry. The impact has been visible across the city. In the North End, temporary shelters have sprung up in community centers and repurposed warehouses. The Olympic Stadium, once a symbol of Montreal's global aspirations, briefly served as emergency housing for asylum seekers, creating powerful imagery that sparked national debate. Montreal's response has been characteristically creative. The city's vibrant arts scene has taken a leading role in addressing the issue. In the Plateau-Mont Royal district, a series of murals depicting immigrant journeys has transformed blank walls into powerful statements of solidarity. Local theaters have staged productions giving voice to immigrant experiences, often featuring performers from immigrant backgrounds. Sophie, a local artist involved in these initiatives, explains, "Art has the power to build bridges where politics often fails. Through storytelling and visual art, we're helping Montrealers see the humanity in every immigrant's journey." 2. Vancouver, British Columbia. In second place, we have Vancouver, British Columbia. This Pacific gem has become a major destination for illegal immigrants, particularly from Asia and Latin America. The city's sky-high housing costs have led to precarious living situations for many newcomers. But grassroots organizations are stepping up, providing everything from legal advice to mental health support, showing that community spirit can thrive even in the face of adversity. Vancouver's situation reflects its position as a Pacific Rim city, a gateway between North America and Asia. The influx of illegal immigrants has added another layer to the city's already complex housing crisis, with many newcomers finding themselves in vulnerable living situations. The impact is visible in neighborhoods like East Vancouver and Richmond, where informal networks have developed to support undocumented residents. Hidden rooming houses and overcrowded basement suites have become common, raising safety concerns, but also showcasing the resilience of immigrant communities. Vancouver's response has been multifaceted. The city has implemented a sanctuary city policy, ensuring access to basic services without fear of immigration enforcement. This has been controversial, with debates about the balance between compassion and rule of law playing out in city council meetings and local media. Community organizations have been at the forefront of support efforts. The Vancouver Association for Survivors of Torture, VAST, has expanded its services to include undocumented immigrants, offering mental health support and counseling. Meanwhile, grassroots legal clinics staffed by volunteer lawyers offer advice on navigating the complex immigration system. Lisa, a volunteer at one such clinic, shares, "Many of the people we see are fleeing desperate situations. They're often skilled, educated individuals who just want a chance at a safe life. Our job is to help them understand their options and rights." And at number 1, surprising absolutely no one, is Toronto, Ontario. Canada's largest city bears the brunt of illegal immigration, with estimates suggesting tens of thousands of undocumented residents. The challenges are immense. Overcrowded shelters, strain on healthcare systems, and tensions in some neighborhoods. But Toronto is also a city of incredible resilience and compassion. From the healthcare workers providing discreet care to the restaurateurs offering jobs and support, Torontonians are finding ways to uphold their city's reputation for diversity and inclusion, even in difficult circumstances. Toronto's situation is a microcosm of global migration trends. As a major urban center with established immigrant communities from almost every corner of the world, it's a natural draw for those seeking a new start, whether they arrive through official channels or not. The impact of illegal immigration is felt across the city. In neighborhoods like Thorncliffe Park and parts of Scarborough, informal support networks have developed, helping newcomers find housing, work, and community. These areas have become cities within the city, with their own economies, social structures, and cultural dynamics. Toronto's healthcare system has been particularly affected. Some community health centers have become de facto providers for undocumented residents, stretching resources, but also developing innovative models of care. Dr. Aisha, who works at one such center, explains, "We operate on a don't ask, don't tell policy. Our job is to provide care, not to enforce immigration law. It's challenging, but it's also deeply rewarding work."